Have you ever felt like learning English is just, well, too difficult? You put in the hours with grammar books, you memorize all these lists, practice, and then when it's actually time to speak, your mind just goes blank. It's something we hear about a lot. People say English grammar is too complicated, or native speakers talk way too fast, or even, I study every single day, but I just don't feel confident. If any of that sounds familiar, well, stick around. We've got some really illuminating insights for you today. Because here's the thing our research keeps showing. English learning does not have to be this hard. The secret isn't really about working harder, it's about working smarter. So today, in this deep dive, we're going to unpack why we often make English learning more complicated than it needs to be. We'll explore the real power of simplicity, and then we'll distill some genius suggestions, really, from our analysis that could completely change how you approach fluency.
Yeah, and what's fascinating looking at the studies is just how often we make things harder for ourselves, often without even realizing it. This deep dive should show you that fluency isn't just, possible. It's actually much closer than you think when you simplify things.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Because before we talk about simplifying, we kind of need to understand why so many learners make it harder. What are those common traps that keep popping up in the sources?
That's the place to start. Our analysis shows a few key things over and over. One of the biggest, trying to be perfect. So many learners think they need absolutely flawless English before they even dare to speak. And this focus on not making mistakes, it creates this kind of anxiety, right? A filter. It blocks learning, sure, but more importantly, it stops people from practicing, just dead in their tracks. It really makes you question, is perfection the real goal when you're just starting to communicate? Or is it just being understood?
That hits home. It's like the fear of sounding bad prevents you from ever getting good.
Exactly. And another trap, maybe surprisingly, is too many resources. I mean, we're swimming in apps, books, YouTube, podcasts. It can be totally overwhelming. And instead of clarity, it often just leads to confusion, sort of analysis paralysis.
Ah, yeah. Analysis paralysis. Been there.
Right. You jump between methods, never stick with one, and end up feeling more lost than ever. It's
Yeah.
like trying to use 10 maps at once.
You don't move forward at all.
Precisely. And tied to that is studying, not practicing. This is maybe the biggest disconnect we see. People spend hours, reading rules, memorizing lists, passive stuff, but they don't actually talk. They don't engage. It's like learning to swim by reading a book. You can know all the theory.
But you got to jump in the water.
You have to jump in. There's this huge gap between knowing about it and actually doing it. Then there's the whole comparing yourself to others thing.
Yeah.
It's so easy to see someone else speaking English well and just feel, slow or behind. But language learning research is clear. Everyone's journey is unique.
Yeah.
So many factors involved. Progress isn't a straight line.
That feeling of not good enough is tough to shake.
It really is. And lastly, a big one we found is not having a clear system, just studying randomly. A bit of grammar here, some vocab there, no real plan. And that, well, it wastes so much time and energy, leads to burnout, not fluency. But look, if any of this sounds familiar to you listening, don't worry. The good news is you absolutely can escape these traps. You can choose a simpler, smarter way.
Okay, so those are the traps. How do we flip the script? How do we move from complicated and frustrating to simple and, well, effective? This is where that power of simplicity really comes in, right? What actually happens when we simplify?
Yeah, this is the core idea. If you look at successful people anywhere, athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, they don't succeed by making things more complex. They master the basics, they practice consistently, and our sources show the exact same principle holds for English. When you simplify, you save time and energy, you focus on what really matters, you build habits that stick. And maybe best of all, you feel less stressed, more motivated. It's a simple truth, really. Simplicity creates progress, tangible progress.
Okay, so how do we start simplifying? What's the first step?
A key starting point, mentioned a lot in our material, is step 1. Focus on the core 20%. You probably know it as the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. Basically, 80% of your results often come from just 20% of your efforts. For English, this means a small part of the language gives you most of what you need for daily communication.
That's a huge mental shift. So not aiming for, like, total academic mastery right away, but focusing on what's most useful.
Exactly that. Take vocabulary. Instead of stressing over, say, 10,000 words, focus on mastering the most common 1,000 or maybe 2,000 words. Linguistic studies show these high-frequency words let you understand and participate in something like 80% of everyday chats. It's a massive return.
Wow, 80%.
Yeah. And for grammar, instead of getting bogged down in every tiny rule, our deep dive suggests mastering simple past, present, and future tenses first. These three are the absolute backbone of communication. Get them down, and you've built a really solid foundation.
That 80-20 rule definitely helps cut through the noise.
Okay.
Okay. But, you know, even knowing what to focus on, people still struggle with the doing. I hear it all the time, years of study, but still can't really talk. Why is that disconnect still there sometimes?
Yeah, you've hit on a critical point. The main reason, our research suggests, is simply a lack of actual speaking practice. People get so worried about grammar or accents that they avoid the one thing that builds fluency: speaking. So that brings us to step 2. Make speaking your priority. A really powerful strategy is just start speaking from day one. Even short, simple sentences, just doing it builds confidence and breaks down that fear barrier.
Right, just getting over that initial hump.
Absolutely. And another great technique we saw is recording yourself speaking. Maybe just 2 minutes a day, then listen back. Don't just cringe, notice things. Use it as feedback to improve. It's super effective. And find a speaking partner if you can, online or offline. Or honestly, just talk to yourself out loud. Narrate your day. Describe stuff. Remember what the experts say. Fluency doesn't come from silence. It comes from practice.
I love that fluency doesn't come from silence. So simple, but we forget it. Language is for talking.
It really is. And right alongside speaking comes step 3. Listen before you speak. Think about little kids learning their first language. They listen for years, absorbing thousands of sentences before they really talk much. Our research suggests adopting a similar listen first idea for English. It taps into that natural language acquisition process.
Like soaking it in first.
Exactly. Soak it in. Practically, that means listen to maybe slow, clear English podcasts or audiobooks to start. Then maybe watch TV shows or YouTube in English. Subtitles can help at first. And try shadowing, repeating what you hear almost in real time. Mimic the sounds, the rhythm. Listening like this actually simplifies speaking later because your brain starts recognizing natural patterns automatically.
Okay, those are great, really practical steps. So we're focusing, we're speaking, we're listening. Now, how do we make our English sound more, natural, less like textbook sentences? And also, how do we keep that motivation up? Because consistency is everything, isn't it?
Excellent questions. Naturalness and motivation are crucial. This leads us to step 4. Learn in chunks, not words. See, most learners memorize single words, which is okay, but native speakers. We think and speak in groups of words that just naturally go together. Things like make a decision, take a shower, on the other hand.
Like set phrases.
Exactly. Lexical chunks or collocations. Instead of studying make a decision separately, learn make a decision as one unit. It changes how your brain stores and retrieves language, makes it faster, more automatic.
That makes so much sense. It feels more intuitive than just grabbing single words from a list and trying to piece them together on the fly.
It really is. A great habit is to maybe write down 5 common chunks every day, then practice using them in real sentences, your sentences, and review them regularly. Our research shows this makes your English sound way more natural and helps you avoid a lot of grammar headaches. And then, step 5, keep it fun and emotional. This is huge. Here's a little secret from neuroscience. Your brain learns faster and remembers better when you actually enjoy it. If English feels like homework or punishment, you'll probably quit.
Yeah, the motivation just drains away.
Totally. So make it fun. Learn with songs you love, stories, movies. Connect English to your life. Write a diary in English. Tell your story. Share your dreams. And please, celebrate the small wins. Every new chunk, every little conversation that's progress. Emotion creates memory. Connect English to your heart. You won't forget it.
So, pulling this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener? Beyond just learning English, what are the bigger benefits when you simplify things like this?
Oh, the ripple effects are huge. You'll feel less stress, definitely more confidence, because you're focused on progress, not perfection. That leads to faster progress, naturally. You see results sooner, which means better communication. You actually start using English, connecting with people. And that boosts motivation even more. It becomes rewarding, not a chore. And ultimately, it opens doors. Travel, study, better jobs, new friends all over the world. We see so many stories like that in the research. It really changes lives.
That's amazing. So beyond those core steps, did your deep dive uncover any other sort of quick, practical tools to make it even easier?
Yes, definitely. A few extra gems. Try the one notebook method. Just one special notebook for English chunks, phrases, notes. Look at it daily. Simple but effective recall. Use the 15-minute rule. Learn in short, 15-minute bursts, much less intimidating than long sessions, much easier to stay consistent. Research backs this up.
Okay, bite-sized learning, I like that.
Yeah. And English everywhere. Change your phone to English. Label stuff in your room. Just surround yourself with it. Mimics immersion. And here's a clever one. Teach what you learn. Explain a chunk or a rule to someone else. It forces you to understand it better. It really sticks.
Ah, the protege effect.
Exactly. Teach a friend, post about it online, whatever works. And finally, maybe the most important, forgive mistakes. Seriously, fear of mistakes is the biggest fluency killer we see. Mistakes aren't bad. They're teachers. Every single mistake gets you closer to fluency. Embrace them.
That's such a powerful mindset shift.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fantastic toolkit. To really bring this home, you mentioned you had a quick story from the case studies that illustrates this perfectly.
Yes, this is about Maria from Brazil. She'd studied English for 5 years, traditionally, but felt she just couldn't speak confidently, always saying, oh, English is too hard for me. Then she decided to simplify, radically. Stopped chasing advanced grammar, focused only on daily conversation English, that core 20%. Her routine was simple. Listen to English podcasts on her commute, practice speaking for just 10 minutes each night, often just talking to herself about her day, and wrote a little in an English diary. And the result? In just 6 months, she was speaking freely with foreign colleagues. She even traveled abroad, felt totally comfortable, really proud.
Wow, 6 months after 5 years of struggling.
Exactly. Her secret wasn't studying harder, it was simplifying, focusing. Consistent, simple practice.
Maria's story is just brilliant. It shows English isn't this impossible mountain. It's a journey, and simplicity is the key to reaching the top. So here's our challenge for you listening. Starting today, simplify your English learning. Pick just one tip from this deep dive, maybe learning chunks, maybe recording yourself for 2 minutes, just one thing, and practice it daily for the next 7 days. See what happens. You might be genuinely amazed at the progress you make just by working smarter.
Absolutely. To just recap the main takeaways from our analysis, focus on the essentials, that core 20%. Speak more, listen deeply, learn in natural chunks, keep it fun, keep it emotional, and be consistent. Do these things and you really will see results faster and probably enjoy it more than you ever thought possible.
Totally agree. And just imagine if simplifying your learning didn't just make you fluent, but opened up completely unexpected doors. What news stories could you tell about your own life? What amazing connections could you make around the world with that new confidence? You really do have the power to make English simple, fun, and successful. Believe in yourself, simplify your approach, and just watch your fluency grow. We can't wait to see what you discover.